Purchasing a product with purpose means that the makers on the other side of the world are being directly affected.
Mel Murray from JOYN. She started a company in India.
We like to say at JOYN, the more hands it takes to make it, the more lives we get to change.
It's not just a purchase, but it's a purchase with a purpose.
I really wanted to form a company that's centered around hiring those that were most vulnerable. I don't think there's any greater joy than to give somebody that kind of opportunity.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Rachel Cruze Show podcast. So glad that you're here. Today's episode, we are going to dive in to a conversation I'm having with Mel Murray from JOYN, and I can't wait for you to hear her. She's one of these people that is doing something absolutely incredible with her life. And I know for me, sometimes just having this perspective of someone that has a completely different life than I do in such an amazing way, it just gives me such hope for the world, honestly. She started a company in India and employs so many incredible people, and the work she's doing is just amazing. So I really cannot wait for you to hear her story. And then I'm going to be answering a question from our Facebook community. And according to statistics, 50% of you are really going to want to hear this question. Now, I say all the time, take control of your money and create a life you love. And I didn't realize how much of an impact that would make in my own life, you guys. I mean, just recently, I feel like I've gone through a couple of transitions. And I think, the pandemic did it for sure, but also having 3 kids, 5 and under, and just shifting, what my life is looking like in this season. And thanks to so many great people in my life, including some that you've heard on this podcast. We've talked about seasons so much and how life is so seasonal. And I've just taken that to heart. And I remember, gosh, this was months ago, but I allowed myself to be like, okay, Rachel, what are the parts of your life that you're not really enjoying? And let's be honest, there's some parts you don't enjoy that you got to do. Pull up your big girl britches and just do it, But then there are some parts that you're like, no, I could change and tweak and figure out kind of a different way to do it to enjoy that part of my life. So there is very much a balance in that. But I just took out my journal one morning and I honestly prayed over it. And I was like, God, I just need to get things out on this paper. Like, I just need to put down the things that I'm struggling with and just write out my perfect life. Like, I know it sounds really simple, but I did. I did this one morning, and I'm telling you, it freed me up in a way that I have not felt that free in that light in a really long time. Because if you're like me, you've probably gone through the motions of life for so long, and most of the stuff is great and everything's fine, but you kind of just wake up and you're like, man, there's just these parts that, I don't know, it's just not giving me the joy that it used to give me as much, and I'm feeling my heart shift in different ways. And so giving myself the permission just to write out my perfect life, just kind of had on paper where I was like, okay, wow, how can I start shifting this way? And honestly, what was written down, I was like, I'm probably not going to get 100% because, again, there's things in life that you got to just do sometimes. But it was enough of a perspective where I realized that there was so much in my head and in my heart that I hadn't even said out loud really or put down visually. And it just helped direct me. And it wasn't every part of my life. It was just kind of 2 or 3 specific parts. But gosh, it did. It just shifted me and my heart. And I was able to make small tweaks here and there to really say, okay, this is what I want this season of life to look like. And I'll just say for me personally, it was more family time like I did. And so once I looked at our social calendar even, and man, can I book up some nights to go do stuff. And so we pulled back and made a goal. Okay, this is how many times a week we'll do something. And this is how many nights a week we're going to be home with the kids to have family dinner, even though it's a crap show, let's be honest, when you're having dinner with 3 kids, but that's what we want. And that's what we want that is really important to us. And another part of that family time is cutting back and saying no to certain work stuff. And I'll say for, a decade, I've tried to say yes to everything when it comes to work because I love my work and it's so fun and I enjoy it so much. But again, in this season, I'm like, man, I just need to be present more. So there's things I'm saying no to at work that I never thought I would have, but even just doing it and saying it out loud, writing that down and then implementing it where I can. And again, I can't do it all, but where I can, it's given me such a refreshing look on life. It really has. And that's for my season. Some of you, you're in a season where you're like, you know what? A perfect day would actually be to have a couple hours to work on my side gig. So I'm going to sacrifice X, Y, and Z in my day to be able to do that, to bring in extra income because we're on baby step 2 and we want to go to baby step 3. Whatever it is, you guys, in your life that you want, write it down, put it down, know what God is stirring in your heart and write it out there. And again, not everything is going to come true right that second by any means, but it at least shows you. And I remember this too. One of my good friends, she did this because we talked about it, and her kids all did like 2 different sports. And she said, Rachel, every night we're not home together. Like my husband's taking one kid one way, I'm taking one the other. And like for 4 out of the 7 nights, we were away from each other. And they made the shift where they made each kid cut a sport because they're like, you know what? Our time together as a family is really important. So find what those things are and implement it and make the sacrifices, make the decisions, make the choices that might be uncomfortable at first. But if it's ultimately what you're desiring, go for it. Do it. And then the other thing is, the next season, gosh, I could do the same thing. I could be living my life currently and then in the next season not be happy about it and not be fulfilled and be like, okay, I want to make shifts here. And just doing that, I don't know, it really helped me. And I don't know if that helps any of you out there, but just I want to be able to give you permission to write it out. Just put it out there and just say, hey, this is what I want my life to look like in all these areas. And what are the steps that you can take to change it and to really, really create that life that you love. And spoiler alert, health and fitness was nowhere in the journal. So I'm still currently not running marathons or doing anything like that. I was like, I probably should have some kind of goal in that area, but definitely not happening right now. I would not be enjoying my life if that was the case. But again, every area of life is so different for so many people. So find those areas that you want to make the change and create that life. So obviously it's important for you to create a life that you love, but I think doing that out of the outflow of your heart, you're able to help people, other people, create lives that they love, whether that's your friends, whether that's your kids or people across the world to do that. But honestly, like we talk about that you have to live like no one else. So later you can live and give like no one else when it comes to your money. And the same is true with your life, you guys. I mean, sometimes there's a lot of sacrifice in life that you got to do. But gosh, once you get to the point that you've made those investments into yourself where you can say, okay, now I can start making shifts and changes and create a life that I do love. And out of that, you're going to help so many people in the process. That's why I'm so excited for you to hear this interview with an incredible person who has not just created a life that she loves, but is also helping other men and women have the opportunity to create a life that they love generationally. So take a listen. Oh, the announcement is here. Yes, my wallet has arrived and it is on sale today. Oh, you guys, I'm so excited about this, okay? I know some of you have been waiting a little bit for this to come out. I know I've been waiting a little bit for this to come out, and a little bit meaning years, because I just wanted one, again, so bad. So the wallet, it's here, and it's absolutely incredible. And whenever I go to make products, I want to make sure that it's stuff that you guys need and that you want. But more importantly, something that you need. I'm like not going to just make a bunch of stuff just for the fun of it, but truly that has this purpose of helping you guys create a life that you love. And we talk about, you know, the envelope system a lot. We talk about carrying cash a lot. And so how can you do that in a tactically functional way, but also let it be cute and let it be pretty? And that is the Rachel Cruze Show wallet. So we were looking, to make these. It had been in prototype after prototype. And then we found a company in India called JOYN. And their mission is absolutely incredible. So the fact that we get to work with them and that they get to create this wallet is beyond anything I could have expected. And they're just absolutely incredible. So today's episode, I'm really pumped for you to hear from the founder herself, Melody of JOYN. So Melody, I'm going to let you kind of take it from here because this is your pride and joy.
It is.
JOYN is. But talk about, you can make a wallet anywhere, but we chose to partner with you guys. So talk a little bit about what JOYN is all about, why you started it, and everything that everyone needs to know.
Great. Thank you. Thanks for having me here.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, we could go into so many details about the backstory, but my husband and I, when we first got married, 10 days after we married, we went and worked in an orphanage in Uganda, thinking that was the type of work we were going to be doing. But it was devastating for us to see people, young moms, you and I's age, that were dropping their babies off at the orphanage because they had no way of providing. And that really propelled my husband and I into a career of figuring out how to create jobs in regional, really vulnerable areas instead of having moms dropping off their babies, giving them work so that they can keep their family units together and really to create a difference by giving value and honor to artisans and makers on the other side of the world. So that's what we do.
So powerful. So how many men and women are with JOYN right now?
So we have about 120 total artisans that we've been employing for almost 10 years now.
And what all do they do? From like the gamut
of
work.
Spinning, weaving, block printing, stitching, leather work. So
Well, I think it's incredible. You know, you look into the things people do around the world to help other people. It's incredible. And so even just this sector, even you saying that, I love that so much, of the passion of you guys of keeping those families together and be able to provide work for these women and these men, and what that creates in a community. So talk about even the community that JOYN is in India. Like, what does that look like?
Yeah, the community changed us forever. We'd never experienced such a depth of community and love. And raising my kids in a village setting, they had aunties and uncles all over the place. But I think the beauty of it, just like the things that you teach and train, is Rachel, they're just like us. These women just want better opportunity for their kids. They want to change that family tree just like you and I do. And by having steady work and employment and fulfillment and a job, they're able to keep their kids in education. Most of the women that work for me weren't able to be educated either past 7th or 8th grade, really. And so now to see their kids growing up, getting educated, going on to college, having a lot more opportunity, it brings me great joy to be a part of that in somebody's lives. So.
Are you guys tired of spending so much money on clothes for your kids all the time just to have them outgrown every season? Well, I am. That's why I love shopping consignments, and Just Between Friends is my new favorite. It's a twice-a-year consignment marketplace that helps you shop the brands that you love 50 to 90% off. They make it super easy to shop smart and stick to your budget. Find out when Just Between Friends is happening in your area at jbfsale.com. That's jbfsale.com. All right, one of my favorite packages to ever show up at my door is my Tuft and Needle mattress. I've got a couple now, and seriously, I love this mattress. You guys know exactly how it is. When you're juggling the demands of mom and wife and work and friend and so many other things, good sleep is a must, and I've never slept better. Tuft and Needle is the best rated mattress on Amazon with over 100,000 5-star reviews, so try it out. You can get a mattress starting as low as $3.99, plus it ships free, and you can keep it up to 100 nights risk-free. So if I'm wrong, just send it back. Go to tn.com to get started. That's tn.com. The story behind you guys and your motivation to start this and to put so much effort, so much passion in it, literally has changed not just people, but family trees. And we talk a lot about that on this show, you know, about the things that you're doing right now, whether it's getting out of debt, saving that emergency fund, getting wise and getting in control of your money. It doesn't just affect you, it affects your kids and their kids and their kids. And it literally can change this whole branch of your family tree. And you're doing that in such a huge way. I'm like, I'm teaching people to budget. You're like... getting people out of poverty. But man, it's so powerful. And so tell me about these men and women that are doing this. I mean, their stories are absolutely incredible. So tell me more about them.
Yeah, I wish I could tell you all their stories. You'll get a chance to hear from Tsering and from Shelma and Suneli, but I wish you could see just how much something this simple, you know, purchasing a product with purpose and having intentionality with which you go about it means that the makers on the other side of the world are being directly affected. We like to say at JOYN, the more hands it takes to make it, the more lives we get to change. So we do purposeful and efficiency, where we slow down and do things by hand instead of using automation. So you're not picturing a big old factory with a bunch of people hurrying around. It's a community of artisans hand making these items. So I wish you could see the process and smell it and just be in it. It's incredible and very inspiring. And then I don't even know where to start on the stories. I mean, I've had the privilege of these people becoming some of my closest friends, so it's hard to even know where to start. Many have come out of really significantly challenging lives, whether they were trafficked at a young age or grew up on the street begging. We get to work with a leper colony, so individuals that have grown up with leprosy and have been really outcasts in their society. Men who have come out of real intense addictions, and women out of abuse cases. And I really wanted to form a company that centered around hiring those that were most vulnerable, those that wouldn't otherwise have a chance. So we're quite a mishmash of people all working together. But they, like you and I were just saying, really have changed the trajectory of their family trees by living with intentionality. Shelma's story is one. She grew up in an orphanage, has had very little opportunity for education, and now is running one of my production units fully. Just had her firstborn son about 1.5 years ago, and the way in which she's training him, raising him up, teaching him these standards and values, and has healthy work. It's just been such a gift to see how simple it is to, again, change someone's life. And every day, I get to see transformation. And I don't think there's any greater joy than to give somebody that kind of opportunity. It feels like quite a privilege. I think people think it's been sacrificial for Dave and I to go do this work. It's the exact opposite. It's been a huge privilege.
Absolutely. And how do people even find JOYN? Like when they're in India, is it you seeing them on the street and you're like, hey, come work? Is it?
Yeah, they started to line up pretty early.
Okay. Do they? Yes.
Yeah. And when the word got out, right?
It's incredible.
Yeah, I wish I could hire them all. Incredible women.
And I love it. Women Run and all of it. Now, to hear their stories, you guys, because there's so much there. So I want you to hear from them.
So before JOYN, I don't have any motive or direction regarding how to use my life properly.
My life was not really nice. And as a woman in India, there were a lot of things which was going through.
Before coming to JOYN, the experience I had, I didn't have security in life. I didn't have like a family atmosphere or somebody who I could love and express to. But after I came to JOYN, like I have a family and I know that I can work closely with each other.
After coming here, I learned a lot, just growing myself as an employee and then becoming a better human being.
When I came to JOYN and then saw the value that they give for as a human being, their value is like not only just taking care of the job, but they also take care of your emotional and your physical and your every need that you have in life. There is a lot of joy, a lot of peace working with them.
I got to open up myself, and I became more confident and more secure. And I know I'm worth it. I can do anything.
I'm very happy with what I'm doing. I'm thankful for what I have right now.
My life has completely changed because I wanted to have the life right now that I am having. And it's such a wonderful life that we are independent and we are able to support ourselves. It's not just the work, but we are building people's life. We are bringing family atmosphere and we are helping them understand who they really are. And we are helping them understand their value and their worth.
When we make our products, we don't know what's going to come out, The bags come out so beautiful and we can see it on the site. It's so beautiful and customers are buying it.
Each product are going through each step and every step by hand. So that is something wonderful, beautiful.
Everything is handmade, from fabric sourcing to the finished good. We see how hard the team are working here.
One day, this women, this men, they were just sitting at home. They knew nothing about it. And once they have come to JOYN, they learn the beautiful work. And it's worth seeing them and feeling happy because we never knew that we can come up with such beautiful product by our own hand.
The more hand it touches, the more life it will change.
It's a magic. What we're making, it's all magic.
They are made out of love. They are made with a lot of carefulness, a lot of hard work. It's just not coming like a machine-made product, but it is coming with a handmade product with full of love. So it's a joy working with JOYN.
Melody, thank you so much. Seriously,
Honest.
I mean, this is the work you're doing is incredible. The fact that we get to partner together with this. I mean, this wallet, you guys, it's so much more than just a wallet. Obviously, I wanted to create something tactically that you're going to use out in your life that's going to help you with your money, help you change your family tree in that regard. And again, the financial piece part of it, the personal finance part is so, so big. And so that tactical side was so in my head. And then again, when JOYN came on board, like the heart part just like almost overtook the project is what I feel like. So, this wallet, it's not just a purchase, but it's a purchase with a purpose. It really is. And the incredible work that they're doing in India is just absolutely changing lives. So not only is it going to help you with your money here in America, it's literally helping someone on the other side of the world. And thanks, Melody, and you and your husband and starting it. I think it's just phenomenal. So before we leave, what do they need to know about JOYN? Because I think it's really important that we understand, obviously, what's going on all around the globe.
Yeah, it's just an opportunity to join individuals who wouldn't otherwise have opportunity with the opportunities that you and I were really born into. We were born into families that had wealth and education and opportunity at every turn.
And just to be born on this continent.
Absolutely.
I mean, like, do you know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's the crazy thing too. Sorry.
Yeah, and we could have just as easily been born into those lives.
Absolutely,
Right?
yeah.
It really dawned on me one day. I was driving my scooter after a tough day as being a mom. I think the boys were 3 and 4. And I needed a break. I remember Dave got home from work and I was like, your turn, right? And hopped on my scooty. And that's what I do for getting stress out. And I was just driving around the Himalayas and I needed to get some vegetables for dinner. And I pulled down to the bottom of the village and parked my scooter. And at that moment, I look up and all of a sudden I saw this woman in front of me. And she eerily looked like me. She was tall and long hair and her eyes locked with mine. And in that moment, I realized I could have just as easily been born into this woman's life. She had a baby on her hip. She was begging me for money. And we looked very similar. And I just had that moment. And it really changed even my feeling of poverty and opportunity. As I was born into opportunity. I was given that as a gift.
Absolutely.
And so JOYN is just about connecting those opportunities and networks, connecting people that don't have those to the opportunities that I've had my whole life.
So beautiful. Well, the work you guys are doing obviously is changing lives, but even so much more than that. I mean, impacting people. It's incredible. And the best news too is that it's today. It's launching today. Yes. So it's leaving. It's leaving our little warehouse and coming right to you, to your mailbox, being shipped to you. So if you want to purchase one and hear more about JOYN, make sure to go to rachelcruze.com. Melanie, thank you again so much. I appreciate all your work over there, here, partnering with us. It's such a privilege. So thank you.
It's a joy. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Being a parent is hard today, especially when screens are everywhere. And you want to feel good about what your kids are watching without worry. That's why my family loves Minnow. It's a new streaming service created just for kids. With over 2,000 hand-picked episodes that's rooted in a Christian perspective, Minnow helps your child learn about Jesus, the Bible, and all the amazing things that God has created. So feel more comfortable about your media choices that you're making and start watching Minnow today. Download the Minnow app or visit gominnow.com. That's GOMINNO.com to get your free trial. Mel is just such an inspiration. And that's one reason that I was so proud to partner with her. The work that she is doing and that she has done is just absolutely incredible. But again, this is more than just a wallet. I mean, seriously, you can use this to change your family tree. I mean, this helps you implement so many of the money habits that we talk about, you guys. And doing it makes such an impact, again, not just in your own life personally and really gaining control of your money, but it changes your kid's life. I mean, it just goes beyond, and that's what I love. And you heard from Sunelli and Shelma and how they've changed their lives and their family trees, and that's what we want for you guys. And that's one reason that I loved Liz's question from the Facebook community, that so many single parents are out there operating on a solo income. So any encouragement appreciated. And it's so true, Liz. It is. And let me tell you, you single parents out there, I mean, you are the heroes. The fact that you do this on your own, it's absolutely incredible. I mean, I've said it so many times in my own life where I was like, wow, I have such an appreciation for parents that do this stuff on their own because it's hard. Parenting is so hard. And when it's just you doing it, I know it can be discouraging and lonely at times. So that's one encouragement I would have, is to find someone. And when it comes to your money, that piece of it, find someone that you can talk to about your budget. Find someone you can talk to walk through big financial decisions you want to make. Find that trustworthy person, because when it's just you having to make all the decisions, you can get kind of weary really easily. So having that other brain power with you is so helpful, and just to walk the journey with you. I so believe that we are created for community, and coming around people is so important. So all of you out there that are not a single parent, find someone in your community that is, and encourage them and be with them and say, hey, what can we do to help you? And those small acts of just asking, or the kindness you can give, or if you financially can even help them in some way, like I believe just as a community to be reaching out and seeing that need. But for all you single parents out there, again, you're doing such an incredible job, such an incredible job. Some of the strongest people that I know as adults that are living the most incredible lives grew up with single moms. And it's amazing the gift that you have out there, single parents, to really pour into your kids, and you're doing a fantastic job. And also as a single parent, bring your kids in, have conversations, show them what you're doing, teach them how to handle money as you're making, whether it's big purchases that you're having to make or it's just doing the monthly budget. Talk to them about it. Show them. Let them know, hey, this is the plan. This is what we're doing. So I think some guidance can give some security to kids especially. And again, age appropriately. You can kind of make that decision on how mature your child is and what they can handle, but show them and walk with them. And also in the budget, make sure you have some fun money. I know it can be so difficult. I think a lot of people can experience this, but especially single parents, that you're just pouring out and giving and giving and giving. So making sure that you're putting some stuff back in for you, like finding things that you want to do and that you're able to do it. And really having that person, though, that's going to help keep you accountable and stick with you and talk with you through, that person should encourage you to do the same as well. So walking this whole process as a single parent, I know it can be so difficult, but I promise you can do this. You can raise incredible kids that have such strong foundations in so many areas of their life, and you have the ability, and you can do it. All right, you guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode of The Rachel Cruze Show. If you have not subscribed yet, make sure you hit that little subscribe button. And if the spirit leads, you can leave a review. And again, my wallet is out, and I'm so excited for you to see it. So go to rachelcruze.com to check that out. And as always, make sure you take control of your money and create a life you love.